Hey there. So I needed a little alone time and decided to go for a walk by myself. I was just listening to Yacht Rock Chicago. I was singing about alligator lizards in the air. How funny. So back when all this started, hey guys, what is this? Hey Chip. Two-tone Chip. Oh my gosh, they're playing. Anyways, when all this started and I realized I was being spied on and monitored and there was stuff in my phone and all this, that, and the other, because I was tech savvy. It's getting a little beyond me now with the AI, but I worked at a cell phone company, so I know the foundational stuff that I need to know that doesn't really change. So anyway, when I realized that was happening and I saw him go into all these strange places, like Asian spas often, but that wasn't it. Other places too, like storage, what do they call it? Storage units. Wasn't aware he had a storage unit, but I've talked about all this. I also talked about getting your name off of the organ donations and being the only one who is allowed to make your medical decisions, because people in this time have turned on their families. So I decided to come alone because when we went down the road over here the other day, usually we go straight down here and it's the park and the trail. When I went the other way, there was a couple of people sitting outside who like real hurriedly got in their houses. And I've been down there before and got a weird vibe. And when all this stuff began and I was watching where he went, he came to a few places down here. The one was that house right there with the green truck that used to sit outside of my other apartment where we lived before here, a few roads over. I remember, I recognized the people, and his wife, it says on the white pages that she's a nurse. So that would come in real handy with those quote unquote experiences or encounters I had. So anyway, and you're allowed to film. This is public. This is a public road. I'm not in anybody's yard, so I do try to get permission though if I show like their actual yard and flowers and all that. So anyways, I saw him go to a few addresses down here and I'd be like, what are you doing? And we had a lot of instances where we just, when I first had the concussion and everything and had the back of my ear sewn back on, we had a few incidences where he would just act strange and like tell me to get out and go out, and him and the boys didn't want me around. I should get out. Locked me outside in the snow once, told me to go get cigarettes at like 2 a.m, and then locked me outside in the snow. I had to call that friend of his to help me get in the basement window. That wasn't the first time. He did it another time that summer too. Every day it was get out, get out, get out. But these addresses that he would come to, the kid that lives down here on the left is Golden Boy, and then right next to him is 222, the one that my son had to joke about. Oh, his mom passed away at the Big C and she took him to a local church and they called him the Antichrist. And I'm like, why are you telling me these strange stories? And he also looks exactly like Caitlin, that basketball player, just like her. Spitting image. It's weird. So anyway, we're gonna go over here without Sammy. Usually we go straight, but we're gonna go right. And we're gonna go see what we can see. Because if I'm right, I know the person that lives over there. And she's another one from my past who I worked with when I was a dancer. And no, I did not get nude. I've talked about all this before. And I was always nice to her. I thought she was real capable. I thought I was good to her. She always had an attitude, but those girls always did. I stuck out like a sore thumb, of course. Everybody called me like the girl next door. So anyways, she's a cute redhead and she had a son and she did what she had to do. All this, that, and the other. But for a time there, when my husband was delivering food for his cousin, he kept telling me how he ran into this girl and that girl, the ones that we used to dance with. And then his friend said, well, I thought you know. I'll call her Jenny too. I thought you knew Jenny. And I was like, what? So they knew her boyfriend. And according to that guy, the one with the Sharpies, she said she was hearing voices through her vents and a lot of the same stuff that I was going through. because they want you to look crazy. Mine kept saying to me, when are you going to see a psychiatrist? Probably when you see a priest. More soon. Look how cute. They're just sitting there. They surprised me. Off we go. So here we are. This is the road nobody seems to want me on. If my son's around, I go for a walk. Where are you going? What are you doing? I don't know who they're hiding me from. And it was really weird when I was quote unquote healing in the beginning. We went out to Erie. That was the last time he took me out of the county. 2019 summer. And he took me to the creek, the river. Usually we fished there, but we just went walking. And he left me alone a couple of times, like went ahead of me and just let me struggle. Then he said the strangest thing. He said something about maybe we should fake your death or something weird like that. And I was like, what are you on about? I said, you know, I thought you did this purposely and tried to end me. And you want me to believe that you didn't. And now you're talking like that. Just really like a bad movie, man. I think that's the house right there, that blue one with the red truck. Not sure why. I'm gonna put my sunglasses on so I can see. Some big trees back here. I grew up in a rural area, but it was right outside of Pittsburgh. Some of these roads, like the one I just came off of, make you feel like you're camping with a bunch of oversized cabins. Yeah, I think it's that house right there. And then this one with the wrought iron porch. Every time I come down here, they like run inside if they're outside. And I don't come down here often. Oh, there's the black truck. That's a thing. That's probably why I lost my job. Interesting. People don't believe you. They don't believe like stalking and all that's real, but no, that's a blue truck, okay. But if you start coming out about certain topics, especially PDF files, the people around you, if they're guilty of anything, they go rather insane. Last summer, there was allegedly, and it's public information, there was allegedly a cop who had child porn on his computer, which is unfortunate because if you live with other people, they have access to your stuff. My stuff was constantly being invaded. I lost so many videos of documentation and of the abuse from turning on my phone. Interesting. Huh. Well, thanks for listening to me in my little story time. And yeah, this is the road we were on, and Sammy did not go in somebody's yard. That person is obsessed with me. Why are you going to make videos about some woman going into middle age? Like, grow up, for real. And then you're lying about me and falsely accusing. I wouldn't let my dog get in somebody else's yard like that. It wouldn't happen. Yeah, that house too, the beware of dogs. Interesting. A lot of people from our past had suddenly moved to... Hey there, Jen here. I decided to come to the park without Sam. My life sucks. Don't be like me. This is the baseball field side. Over there is the entrance to the trails and the volleyball court with the sand behind the basketball court. And the bridges are over there and over there. A nice area. It should be, anyways. So I asked the spouse today, I said, I really don't want to pay you rent anymore. I need a lease. I need to have some security, some stability in my life. And I've been asking for 2 years. That's a normal conversation between a husband and a wife, talking about finances. Every time I ask questions like that, he freaks out, yells at me, screams at me. Gaslighting. Some part of my life is being hidden from me, and I don't understand if he's obviously some type of handler. He called me delusional because I asked for a lease. He said, well, if we contact him and ask him that, he's just going to raise it. I'm like, dude, I ain't seen that guy in 2 years. I don't even know if he's alive. All we ever hear about these people, oh, they're in Florida. Oh, they're in Florida. Everybody from our small town is in Florida, and we get all their people up here. It doesn't make any sense. My new ID, they told me they would mail it to me. I didn't even have to go into the office. And I don't care what people of his come to my account and say, oh, it's not normal. It's not. I've asked other people, that's not the norm. And it's not the new normal either, but it's what they did with me. He doesn't want to sign a lease. Trump just signed that executive order about houseless people, which I told you was coming. He tried to kick me out for 3 years steadily before, or in the midst of pummeling me with that door and me having to have my ears sewn back on with God knows what inside of it. He told me to go get cigarettes one morning. It was like 2 in the morning, and he was freaking out. So I went down the road to get them, and I came back, and the door was locked, and he wouldn't answer the door. He said he was in bed, but again, he likes to get around. I've seen that now. The road over there, he freaks out every time I go on it. I don't know what the deal is or who's there. You saw that road when I did the last walk and talk with the sunflower thumbnail. I don't know what else to say. It's a very abusive situation. It's been like this for a long time, off and on. Everybody blames me, even after everything I've done for my family. This was all planned. I told everybody that. Nobody wants to listen. I told you about the things in the arm and what was going to happen because of it. And now we're seeing that happen. I don't care who says I'm delusional. God made it so my eyes were opened and I was able to decode their symbolism that they were putting in front of me to get my passive consent to do me in. That's what they want, is everybody's passive consent. I'll say it again. Consent by manipulation is void. It's not consent. And it will bring those people nothing. They've had their reward here. They get nothing after this. And just because I think there's an afterlife, that doesn't mean I feel like I can do whatever I want here. That means I should do better here so my next life is better. And I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've made a lot of bad decisions and choices that got me to where I am. I realize that. But I also helped a lot of people along the way. And it's not that I expected in return. It's just discouraging and disappointing to have been there for so many people. I mean, I let my sister move in with us in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I supported my whole family and them for several months. And I think that was just some initiation they did because I was always at work, and there's other stuff that goes with this that I just can't reveal yet. I don't know if I will reveal. A lot of circumstantial evidence, but no proof. And I know that he knows people around here. When our Googles were connected, his maps showed him at certain locations, like the nurse that lives down the road. I don't know, I did a video on that yesterday, I might show it. But how are you going to call somebody delusional because it's your wife and she wants to feel secure and stable and she wants to know that, you know, there's some kind of stability to your housing situation? Like, how could you say that? How is that a problem? This isn't normal. I have cousins and uncles and aunts, and I've seen how they live. And it's not like this. And there is no help. Everybody blames you. It's like a stigma. Oh, you were abused? What'd you do to deserve that? What'd you do to deserve him pummeling you like that? All these people that do this, all these incels, and he sits all day when he's home and watches those videos of women being arrested all day long. He hates women and he hates me. Don't be like me. If somebody shows signs of being abusive, get out right away before you're stuck because you have children or your finances are entangled together. I love you. Have a blessed day.